Hello and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about ways to effectively help others.
Great. I had 2 outrageously productive days at my desk. So,
wow.
2 days in a row. So I'm feeling very good about myself and my productivity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love those days.
Yeah. They're sometimes few and far between, so it's feeling good.
So could you help me have a more productive day?
Sure. So one thing I did was to have a friend who was also having a productive day, and we checked in with each other on the phone every couple hours. So you and I could do that. It was my friend Geraldine Thomas. You and I could do that.
Oh, we could.
There you go.
That would be awesome. I know, right? And also, that's an effective way to help someone because I asked for it.
That's right. That's right. It was almost like that was planned, and it wasn't.
It was not at
crazy.
I love to sneak that in on you.
I know, you're very good at that.
But yeah, that's one of the things that we were talking about with this topic is that, we're often so good-hearted and wanting to help others that we might be prone to giving advice when it's not wanted.
Right. Or giving it prematurely.
Yes.
In a conversation.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of ways to help people more effectively in ways that feel good to them.
Mm-hmm, because if advice doesn't land well, it's not effective, and it's not. It's the opposite of what you're after, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know sometimes when I'm talking about something with someone, and really I'm at the point where I just need to vent about it, and I need someone to basically just rail with me about how unfair it is or whatever.
I've never experienced that with you, Shannon.
That if someone starts trying to give me advice at that point, it just almost makes my head explode.
Yeah.
Like, that is so not what I need in the moment.
Right. And some people seem to have a harder time understanding that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes in my experience, those people have white chromosomes.
Yes.
But it's like the difference between a vent and seeking advice oftentimes is pretty easy to identify, because the latter often is accompanied by the words, "Can I get some advice?"
Yeah. Or what do you think? Yeah. And it's hard because, I think most of the, offering of help, the advice giving comes from a good place. It's like, I just want to help you. Like, you're not feeling good, and I think I know a way for you to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And as honorable as that intention is, put it to the side and pay attention to what the person really needs in the moment.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I try really hard not to give advice without it being asked. And it's hard sometimes for me.
Yeah.
Well, and my sort of technique is to just work really hard not to interrupt the person. And then usually after they're through, when they've gotten it all out, they'll ask for the advice. And if they don't, then if I have something I really feel like could be helpful, I'll say, "May I offer some advice? Or are you interested in what comes to mind when I hear this, or something
Yeah.
like that. And this is, my context is usually like other professional organizers or something.
Right.
Yeah. To me, that's the critical part, right? You just don't launch in, or especially interrupt with
Yes.
the advice. Yeah.
Right. And especially don't interrupt starting with the phrase, you just need to,
Oh, yes. Yes.
or you should.
Right. You should. Oh, yeah. Two of my least favorite words put together.
And I have no idea what the context was for this, but I have a very vivid memory of me telling you something and you saying to me, would you like to know what I would do in that situation? And it was like, it stuck with me, and it's probably been close to 20 years ago that you told me that you said that to me. And it has stuck with me all this time as being such a kind and helpful phrase.
Oh, wow. Gosh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all, but that's, I'm glad. I actually did not know where this was going. wasn't fully sure this compliment was going to be at the end. And so I'm really glad that was helpful.
Yeah, it really was. And it's funny, like I said, I have no recollection of what the conversation was about, but it really stuck with me, you saying, would you like to know what I would do in that situation?
Yeah, and you may or may not, depending on if really all you want to do is vent, that might not be the right time. But the key was you're asked. You're being asked.
Right.
You're asking the other person.
And I also felt like you were genuinely okay whether I said yes or no.
Right, because it's not always helpful to know what the other person would do in the situation.
Yeah.
Really, sometimes you just need to be heard, and also to have your outrage matched.
Yes.
And that's very helpful.
Yeah, it's,
Well, and now that I think about it, Shannon, you've done the same to me many times. I just started like running through my head some of the things that I will vent to you about, usually with tricky family situations at Walla Walla and so forth. And you will say the exact same thing. And it's always like, I get a sense of relief. Wait, wait, I might actually get a solution here, or an idea of how to proceed. Yes, please tell me.
Well, and it's funny, like, just what a relief it is to be asked that question. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, wow, like it feels like this person gets you.
Mm-hmm. And I think it probably comes more naturally to certain people, but it's also something one can learn.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And you and I are both in the profession of giving advice. Right. I mean, people pay us for our advice. So it's different from a personal conversation with a friend or loved one. But we're pretty certain people want our advice since they're paying us for it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But even so, we tread gently on it with it.
Yeah. Well, and really, I don't think of myself as often giving advice. I mean, I know I give a lot of advice in this podcast because, I'm not interacting with an individual unless it's you.
Yeah.
But I do find myself, outside of conversations with clients, saying, would you like a little coaching on this?
You outside of client interactions. That's,
right.
And that's cool. Is that well received?
Sometimes it's well received, and sometimes people take me up on it, and sometimes they don't. Mm-hmm. And either way is fine.
Right. And I feel like I should backtrack a little and say that it's true that I'm in a consulting position and I give advice. You're a coach, and you help the client discover the answers from within, which is hugely powerful and actually very different. But you do give a ton of advice in life because you have so much experience. Yeah. You don't get to our age, or my age, I'm older than you, without having some advice to give.
Right. Yeah, once you've been through a thing or two.
Right.
You have some thoughts about a thing or two.
Exactly. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, that this remembering that most of the time people want to be heard. And that's a really powerful way to help someone, is to give them the space where they can say what they want to say, what they need to say, and kind of process it out loud.
Exactly. And that's actually helping. It's not
Yes.
about giving advice or telling someone a solution to their problem.
Right.
Just hearing them and as you said, feeling heard and
Yeah.
understood. Like it's frustrating to vent and not get the appropriate reaction from the
Yeah.
person. Usually not venting to the person about them, just venting about something else. And this has happened over the years with Barry and me in my business, and I'll be like venting about, I don't know, something frustrating that happened, and he tries to come up with a solution. It's like, and he doesn't even understand the situation enough to have
Right.
a solution. But I know he's trying to be helpful. He just doesn't understand that that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Unless I tell him.
Yeah. And then that's awkward and
Yeah, it's hard, especially if you're in venting mode.
right. You don't want to have to be the grown up in the room and be like, look, this is what I really need right now.
Right.
Although I have said, and on both sides of the equation, I have said, look, I just need you to hate them with me right now.
Oh.
Or, someone will say something, be like venting about a situation, and, it's almost always people, and be like, we hate them. And then they'll either be like, yeah, or they'll be like, well, not really. And then, but it sort of helps open up the conversation some.
Yeah, and either way, it's helpful, right?
Yeah.
Either they're feeling supported or they're like getting a new perspective, which is good.
Right.
Yeah. We hate them. And I mean, it was terrible because, of course, we don't hate. We try not to hate.
No.
But, yeah.
I'm not a hater.
You're not a hater. You're a lover, Shannon.
At least a liker.
Right, depending on who we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing, and and I catch myself too feeling like or not recognizing that I'm wanting to jump into giving someone advice before they're ready for it, or before I have their permission for it, really.
And it strikes me the same thing is true of offering different types of help, like helping. I know. Here's one, like helping someone at the supermarket reach something, right? Or bend over and pick something up. It's just isn't always welcome. And especially if it involves touching the other person or getting in really close proximity to them, it can be nice to ask.
Yes.
I mean, but I give blanket permission to all tall listeners. They can reach things for me at the grocery store.
Yeah, and I've tried to come up with sort of neutral ways of asking people. Like I'll say, oh, would you like a hand with that? Like I try to avoid, saying help, actually.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's the exact phrase I use too. Do you need a hand? Can I give you a hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a little gentle help without making them feel like they look helpless, I guess. Is that it?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Or I might say, can I offer any assistance, or what would be helpful, rather than do you need help? Because if I could see if you were in a position of maybe having mobility issues or something, if someone's asking, do you need help, like, I'm not helpless.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. So that it's the same concept, right? Be effectively helpful by offering your help.
Right.
And having it be accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, if it's an emergency situation, help.
Yeah. Right.
You don't have to ask if it's an emergency.
Right.
Now that I say that, I'm like, oh no, I think you still do.
Well,
Depends on the situation.
Right. Yeah, it depends on it. If you can, you should.
Yeah.
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 But,
and I think that's sort of the overriding thing here is to wait and offer until someone has indicated that they might be open to some assistance or some advice or, some kind of help.
are you saying that you should wait to offer until they've indicated they want some help?
Well, that's a really safe way to do it.
Uh-huh.
And, you can also offer if you feel like the other person has sort of put out whatever they needed to put out, like said whatever they needed to say, then that's a time that you can ask, like, how can I support you?
Mm-hmm.
And, then they can just say, well, I just need you to hate them with me for a minute. Or they can ask for your advice. But, but asking how can I support you feels very supportive because it gives me the opportunity to ask for whatever I want in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also helpful as, the person who is talking to someone else to specifically say what you need and maybe start out with, I really need to vent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
would it be all right if I just vented to you or like talk this through? And if it's someone who has a tendency to give you advice, you could say, hey, I want to talk this through. I'm not really ready for any advice yet, but I just kind of want to talk it out loud with you. Is that all right?
And that's being helpful to the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're helping them be successful in the interaction.
Right. Yeah.
But I think, I used to be part of an online group where you specifically had to say what it was you wanted. Like when you posted something, you had to say what it was that you wanted in response.
Oh, uh-huh.
And it was, at first it seemed like sort of tedious, but it was really great because then it gave other people the opportunity to give you what you wanted.
Right. It made it very clear for how people could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. A clear ask.
Yes.
Which is actually not asking that much. But it's amazing how seldom in online communities you see that.
Right.
Yeah. Or in
Right.
life.
Yeah, I was just in another in a Facebook group, and there was this, sort of this big, I don't know what you would call it, a big to-do about like people are offering really unhelpful advice, and then people are like, well, why are you asking questions if you don't want advice? And and it was just like, wow, like, the more clear we can be with each other about what we're seeking, the more successful and, the better we'll all feel.
Right. It's all about communication.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not making assumptions.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So we would like to hear from you, our listeners. How do you like to be helped, and how do you find it most effective to help others? You can let us know on Facebook or Instagram at Getting to Good Enough. You can head over to Twitter at GTG Enough. The show notes are on our website at gettingtogoodenough.com, and you can always leave a comment there or leave us a message at 413-424-GTGE, which is 4843. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. You're always good at helping me in just the way I need to be helped.
Oh, that makes me feel good, Shannon. And I feel the same about you.
Oh, thank you.